Hey guys, this is my second update for Finish 18 in 2018 Project Pen. In my last update, which is update 1, I have already finished 6 items, and today I'm gonna start off with more things that I've finished up. So the first thing that I have is something that I bought when I was in Japan, and this is the Poreputty powder. And the last time that I had this in update 1, I had a sizable round pen, and I was actually working towards side pen, but today I am completely done with this and I finished up the entire pen. And this powder was my introduction to pore blurring powders because I used to only purchase those with high coverage. So I'm thankful that I've tried this and I've discovered better pore blurring powders, but I will not repurchase this. The next thing that I finished up is just this little nub over here, and this is the Miss Hannah eyeliner pencil, and I have mine in the shade I'm not too sure, but I think it's just a black. So this is the cap, and the cap is actually a lot bigger than the pencil itself, and it has this little hole in the middle, so it scratches my eyes when I'm trying to draw my eyeliner, and it's also unable to be sharpened anymore. So I'm just gonna call this done. So this is all that I've left, and it's actually just this little part over here, but this is empty and empties to me now. And the next thing I finished up is a concealer, and this is something that I put in update 1 because this is like a rolling project pen. So this is the Clear Cover Pro Artist Liquid Concealer. It's a mouthful and it's in the shade 2BP, and I bought this in September last year, so I really wanted to finish this up. I used to really like it because it gave me very full coverage, but the more I use it, the more I realize it is dried out, like it doesn't blend out, and no matter how I try to blend it with my beauty blender or my sponge, I can still see the line. So I tried adding oil to it, which is jasmine oil. It smells good. It doesn't smell like it's bad yet, but after that it became really oily, so the coverage became a lot lesser, and now it is just drying up gradually, and I can already see through, and I can see that there is empty and there's nothing inside at all. And no matter how I try, it takes forever for me to get enough product out to actually cover a zit. So this is considered done to me. I was positive that I was going to purchase this, but this is like $30, and it's not even sold in like Sephora. It's sold at Watson's, which is a drugstore. So I'm not going to be repurchasing this because I really was not impressed with it towards the end, and it kind of pissed me off towards the end. So not a very positive experience with that. And the next thing that I finished up is an eyeliner, and this is the Ico Skinny Mini Liquid Eyeliner, and I have mine in black. This is also something that I added in my last update, and although it's like a deluxe size, it says it's good for 6 months, and I had it open for definitely way longer than 6 months. And initially, when I first tried to draw a line, there is ink, but when I reach the half of my eye, it just stops. And when I try to draw on the other side, it is so streaky and not enough ink comes out. So I'm just gonna call this done because it takes me like 15 to 20 minutes just struggling with this, trying to get ink out. So it's just not worth my time. The next thing is also something that I added in my last update, and this is from Benefit. And this is the Fake Up. Basically, it's a concealer, but what's interesting is that it's a concealer, and then around it is like a little moisturizer. So this is really good, especially when you have dry skin around that concealer, because I pick at my face. So when I pick at my face, I have like dry skin around that concealer, so sometimes my concealer just clings to that dry patch. So it was already pretty flat when I put it into the project because this is just a little sample size, and I've used it to the point where it is below the plastic, and the plastic is scraping my face when I try to apply it to my face. Initially I really like this, but the more I use it, the more I feel that it's okay, and it's definitely not worth the high price point. It is not something that I will repurchase, but if I ever get it again, I will extremely happily use it up. So that was 5 items that I finished up in update 2, and I'm moving on to show you progress of the other items. So the next thing I have is a bronzer, and this is a Korean brand. This is the Too Cool for School Art Class by Rodin Contour Powder. It's a really long name. Basically, it's a bronzer / contour because it comes with 3 shades. So you can mix and match, and you can use it for different parts of your face, which is what I really like about it. So in my update 1, what I had, it was in the darkest shade over here, this little cut. I had a small little cut. So now I've expanded the cut to a bigger slice of cut. And in the middle shade, I had a tiny little bit of this ring over here, and I could see a tiny bit of ring pen, and now I've expanded the ring pen, and I can also see a dent, and I can see that it is so close, it is so thin that I feel that I can hit the pen, a round shade pen, anytime soon. And in my last update for this lightest shade, it went down but there wasn't any pen, and now yeah, it's just slowly having a little dip, but it's not reaching any pen. What I use this for is I swipe my bronzer brush horizontally across to mix the shades for contour and bronzing, and for my nose contour I mix these two shades together, so that's why I have the most progress on these two shades and the least progress on the lightest shade. I really enjoy this because it's a very soft powder, a very soft formula, so it doesn't look like you go overboard with your contour. But I'm really surprised that I'm not further in with this yet, and I'm not almost done, because I feel like I've used it for so long and I use it every single day. So the next thing that I have is an eyeshadow palette. This is the LA Girl eyeshadow palette. It's the nudes. It's a Beauty Brick Nudes collection, and what I was concentrating on and what I had confidence in was the matte shades. I was positive that I could use up the matte shades, but I wasn't positive if I could use up the shimmer shades. So in my last update for my white shade over here, I had around a quarter pen left, and now I have just a little bit of powder right at the bottom over here and a little bit at the sides, but it is pretty thin on the sides. And for this brown shade, I had a brown pen, and my goal was to expand it, but I haven't hit the shades. I haven't hit the sides in my update 1, but now I've hit the top, and I'm also almost hitting the sides. The sides are just really thin, and I feel that in a couple, maybe 2 weeks, I'm pretty sure I can hit the sides over here at the top. And for my pink shade, what I had last time in update 1, I had a tiny little bit of dot. So now what I've done is I've just expanded the little dot, and I have a pretty good dip in this pink over here and this pink, but to be completely honest, they kind of look around the same on the eyes. So yeah, and I have a good shade in this light pink over here, and I've also been using these two shades and this shade, but what I can see is I can see a little bit of like brush strokes in this and this shade over here. I enjoy the matte shades, so I'm hoping to use up the matte shades completely. So let's move on to lips for a while, and this is something from e.l.f. and it is a duo. So let's look at the plumper side first. I like to use this after my lip balm and before my lipsticks. I wouldn't say it's like a very tingly, very effective plumper, but I would say it's like a beginner's plumper. It doesn't sting that badly. So this is it rolled up all the way, and this is where I started, update 1, and now this is where I am. And I have just this little part over here, and it's not even like a big part, it's just a little slope, because as you can see, I have product on one side and the other side is pretty much reaching the plastic. Next lip product that I have is a lip gloss. I put this in a project because I heard that ColourPop stuffs, generally they go bad really fast, but this still smells good. It smells like vanilla. Doesn't smell bad yet, so I'm not going to throw it away until it starts smelling bad. And I haven't even told you what this is. This is a gloss, and this is the Ultra Glossy Lip in Aquarius, and I have used this from update 1 to update 2, but definitely not enough to see any progress at all. Even if I put it up against the light, I don't see any gaps or any lines, but I think that this might really go bad before I finish it up. But I'm surprised that this is really making me enjoy glosses more, because I was sure that after I finish this up, there was no way I was going to purchase any more glosses. But I have a pretty good experience with glosses right now because of this. And the next lip product that I have makes me so angry. This is from Wet n Wild, and it is in the shade Bare It All, which is the dupe for MAC's Velvet Teddy. And look at my cover, it is breaking apart. It is breaking apart every single time I use it, and it is so close to breaking and totally drying out the entire lipstick. And I'm gonna roll this up all the way. It is a nude color, so it's pretty easy to wear, and I've been trying to wear it, but because it's a slope, so I've been trying to just touch this part instead and try to push it down. But when I put it up against my paper, and this is the beginning line, there is almost just the slightest little difference, but not enough for me to actually want to draw a line because it seems like it's almost at the beginning line. But I feel like it has been going down, but I don't see it on paper, so that's really strange. But it is definitely still jutting out above the black part, and I really wish that it could just go down because it is a hassle when I try to cap it. I really like the formula, it's just the packaging. And some people in America, they are like, oh, I'm fine with the packaging because of the cheap price, but this is not cheap here. This is at least almost double the price that you Americans pay for it. So the next lip product that I have is from Revlon, and this is in the shade Seductive Sienna, and it is in a matte finish. And if I put it up against the line, there is a little bit of difference. You can see just the slightest bit, it has decreased a little bit. And same thing here, I've been trying to hit this part and try to push it down, but it's just a very slow process. It is kind of in the same nude family, but this has a darker brown red tone to it, so it is generally a darker lip color. So I have two fragrances, and the first thing that I have is from DKNY. This is the apple perfume, red apple perfume, and this is where I started. This is update 1, and this is where I am now. I'm surprised that I'm not done with this yet, but it is just at the little bottom here, and it has reached the point where it is really difficult to spray out stuffs because it doesn't have enough to be sucked up. So I'm kind of struggling with this. I don't know whether I can completely use it up because of the packaging, but I'm just gonna try. And the next fragrance that I have is W Dress Room New York in the scent Cocoa Coconut number 2, but I bought this when I was in Korea, and as you can see, this is where I started. This is update 1, and I made really good progress from my start to update 1, and now I've made definitely less than half progress. This is where I am right now. The scent doesn't stay for a long time on the body, which is quite a pity because it smells really good like the beach. And the next thing that I have is this Biore face milk, which I put in update 1, and I've used it maybe once, maybe twice, so definitely no update. I'm pretty sure I'm still around here. Since I had this e.l.f. product in my project, I have been trying to use up the other side occasionally, and it is a primer side on this side. It is actually primer for your lips, but I dislike it for my lips. I like to use it for my eyelids, but I can only use it on days that I know I don't need my eye makeup to last. So I officially put this into my project pan in update 1, and this is the beginning. This is update 1, and this is where I am. I'm slowly making incremental process, but it's still progress nonetheless. I don't know if I'm going to chuck this entire thing when I'm done with the plumper because I don't really know if this is going to last. It is already rubbing against the side because it's kind of like going to the side and dropping a little. Moving on, 3 more things that I put into the project during update 1. The first thing is this foundation. It is the Fluffy Liquid Full Cover Foundation from Clematis, which is a Korea brand. And I have mine in the shade 23 Natural Beige. I'm thinking it only has like 21, 22, and 23 because that's just the way Korean brands usually work. So 23 is the darkest shade, and when I put this into my project, it was barely used before putting into the project, and it is one of those kind where you shake up, but I've been mixing it with a darker foundation because although 23 by right should be my shade, this is still too light for me, so I don't know if I will purchase it, but I super love the formula because it's very liquidy but good coverage. So it is one of this like very watery consistency, and when I shake it, it sounds like I'm less than half. So I'm hoping I can be done by my next update because this expires in September, so I need to really hurry up with this. So the next thing that I have, another black thing, this is a mascara, and I put this into the project in update 1 when it was used once, which means I just newly opened it. So this is from Illamasqua, and it is in the shade Raven. Basically it's a black mascara. It is a deluxe sample, and I got this in my Look Fantastic box. And I'm really surprised because I've never really tried Illamasqua products. But this is good. This is really pretty good. I wouldn't say volume wise, but I would say length, and it holds the curls pretty well. But I'm not too sure if that's just the way new mascaras tend to work for me, because I had a Bobbi Brown one and it worked really well too in the beginning. So far so good. I'm really liking this mascara. I'm going to definitely use it until it completely dries up because I'm totally loving it right now. The next thing that I put in is not the entire palette. This is a Freedom palette. It's a Pro Blush palette. bronze and big, but it comes with like a variety of shades, which is pretty strange but really good for your money. And the only thing I put in is actually just this white highlight over here. So when I first put it into this project, oh, I'm blinding you, I'm sorry. When I first put this into the project, it was untouched. It looked completely untouched too. I've used it a couple times. So now that I have it from update 1 to update 2, it still looks pretty untouched, but when you look at it from the side, you can see that it has this little hole over here. It kind of like caves in a little bit at the corner because that's how I've been using my brush. I've been using my brush against this side over here, which is why this side is going first. And there's a little dip, not a dip in the product, but a dip towards the side, if you know what I mean. So I'm pretty happy with that because I can see that the product is lower now. So I mean, it's a highlight. I don't know how people actually hit pan on a highlight, but I'm happy with my progress and I'm gonna continue using it because it's a white highlight. It goes with everything and I can use it for every day. So now's the fun part because I finished 5 items in this update 2. I am going to add in 5 more items, and now it's June, so I was thinking maybe by my next update I would stop adding in items as we get closer and closer to the end of the year. So just now I said the foundation that I've been mixing in with this foundation is this other foundation from Rimmel, and it is a Wake Me Up Vitamin C Skin Brightening Super Ton of Words 100 Ivory. Basically, this is I wouldn't say it's a wrong shade for me, but it doesn't make me look healthy because I find that shades that are generally a little bit lighter than my skin tone itself makes me look healthier and better. So I've been mixing it with a lighter foundation because that's just the way I like it. And I got this a while back, tried it a couple times and just kind of like put it onto the side. So now I brought it out again for mixing. That's why I'm only over here. And this is where I am. I've marked my progress. I really do like the packaging. It's sturdy packaging but comes with a pump. And I just take 1 pump of this, 1 pump of that and mix it in together, and I really like the shade. So I might be able to finish this up by the end of the year because I don't use it solely on its own. I use it just as a mixing medium. So the next thing that I'm going to put into my project after foundation, I'm going to put in a concealer because I really want to try this out and see if I like this formula. This is the LA Girl Pro Conceal, and I just got this in the shade Light Ivory. I just got it today. I just used it once today, and everybody loves this thing because it is really cheap in America and it is really cheap here too. I think I got this on sale for like $3.60, which is crazy for a concealer. And I know that I tried this before. I tried the green one before, it was meh, and I had a shade of this but it was the wrong shade. So now that I've got, I think, the correct shade, I really want to use consistently and see if I like this formula because it's such a cheap concealer. So hopefully this is a holy grail for me. So yeah, I'm starting off brand new. So the next thing that I have is actually a primer. This is from the brand Aprilskin. It's the Perfect Magic Face Starter, and I really like the packaging because it is a squeezy tube but it is a pump. So every time I use it, the first pump is a hard ball because it just kind of hardens there. So this kind of scares me a little because I always worry what if one day I can never pump it out again because it is clogged up inside here. So I really want to try and use it up. I don't have a ton of primers, I only have 3. I went from like 1 to 3. Oh, this is actually a primer too, but this is for days that I really need my makeup to last. So I'm going to just squish it down and bend it over. This is where I am. This is my starting point. I am below the word magic. So this is my starting point and I have a good amount of stuff to go through with this. And the next thing that I'm putting into my project, okay, let's just go to the powder first. This is from EG Lips. It's the Blur Powder Pack and I have mine in the shade 21. So this is the second blurring powder I have and I really liked it in the beginning. So now I'm not too sure if I still like it, because now that I've tried out many more products, I want to use this consistently and see if this is something that I want to repurchase. It's pretty good packaging, comes with a mirror, comes with a powder pack which I never use, but you know, I just keep it in there in case, and it comes with this divider thing which is really good. So I'm going to show you, I have a dip. I can see the ring over there, but there is no pan and nowhere near to hitting pan, but it's still good that I can see the dip. So I'm starting off with a fully covered pan. I'm hoping maybe I can hit pan by my next update. So the last thing I'm putting into this project is something that I'm not too sure about, and I really kind of hesitated a little bit. This is from Too Cool for School. It's the Dino Platts Eyebrow Pencil. And I have mine in the shade brown. They have like 5 shades. This just says 02. So it must be some kind of brown. And it is one of those angled ones, but it is thick. It is not like those, those little pencils that you can go through really quickly. No, this is a thick pencil, and you really don't need a lot because it is pigmented. So this is what I have. I had this for quite a while, and this is the amount that I still have. So this is definitely going to be something a little bit harder to go through. So this is my starting point, and I have a ton of eyebrow pencils that are brand new waiting for me to open them. So since this is my only opened eyebrow pencil, I want to use this up first. So that's all for my update for my project pen 18 in 2018. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'm really happy with the progress that I've made. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye!